Welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm here to bring you guys the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh and I'll be bringing the low rev perspective.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 900 Global Vengeance, and I'm going to be comparing that to the Radical Evil Eye and the Rotogrip Rockstar.
And I'll be comparing it to the Motive Raptor Rain and the Brunswick Alert. These comparisons will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here at Bolero Via Linda on a fresh house shot. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
All right, initial thoughts on the Vengeance. To me, this one is a pretty strong and smooth symmetric ball. I wasn't sure how strong this one was gonna be. Kind of thought initially going into it was gonna feel like somewhat like a Rockstar, but it's definitely a much stronger option. I feel like it almost felt like an old Axiom. This one, to me, when I moved further left, it didn't quit quite as much as I thought it was because of how strong it was, but it was pretty forward. The more I got left, the more forward it got. You really kind of see how it left the pin deck more on the 9-pin rather than the 8-pin spot. The only time it really kind of went through the pins is if I really got it to the friction a little bit earlier and just started that change of direction a little bit earlier as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Rockstar and see how that compares. All right, after seeing the Rockstar go down the lane, like I anticipated, this one's a much cleaner option, weaker and smoother off the end of the pattern. I definitely needed to be a little bit further to the right and keep my angles in front of me, and my ball speed needed to be quite a bit slower to get this one off the spot. With my Rockstar having a little bit more games on it, I definitely need to keep my ball speed quite a bit lower just because I didn't see that traction that the Vengeance did. If I threw it the same speed as the Vengeance, I saw one that didn't even make it back to the head pin. So definitely a little bit of a weaker option, something I need to be a little bit more softer with. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Evil Eye and see how that compares. All right, now the Evil Eye, I think, is a step up from the Vengeance. It kind of felt like the Vengeance was a little earlier just because of how dull it comes out of box. But the more shots I kind of got on it, the more you kind of wanted to see it retain a little bit more energy than the Evil Eye. I felt like the Evil Eye definitely wanted to be stronger and smoother off the friction and didn't have that quite a change of direction, didn't retain quite as much energy as the Vengeance. All right, final thoughts on the Vengeance. To me, I liked how kind of versatile it was. I could play a little bit straighter, and when I moved left, it didn't really want to quit on me that much. Still retained enough energy to kind of get those swisher hits when it was a little bit too forward for kind of where I was playing on the lanes. So giving me that both straighter and kind of left zones that I can play with makes me think that it's going to be pretty versatile. To me, I think this is going to go in the fire category. I really enjoyed the ball motion.
Just through 10 shots with the new 900 Global Vengeance. This ball for me kind of shocked me right out of the box. Definitely a duller bowling ball, likes to hook and oil. For a symmetrical ball, it is on the stronger side. I would say it's on the stronger side of like a benchmark shape, but still allowed me to feel like I had enough downlane shape to where I didn't really feel like I had to worry about corner pins. Again, early enough to where I knew it was gonna hook, but enough downlane motion to where I knew it was going to, continue toward that 8-pin the way I like to see it. I did jump a little further left at the end, and I still felt like the ball had juice in the tank. I didn't really feel like it stopped hooking, which I really like, especially out of symmetrical pieces, because a lot of times for me, I feel like there's a point where they just down lane, and for me, I didn't really see that out of this one. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Raptor Rain and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Raptor Rain. This ball for me was definitely pretty similar to the Vengeance. I don't think you need both of these in the bag. I definitely think it's a one or the other, but I did feel like the Raptor Rain was just a pinch earlier, and really where I noticed it was just overall more rounded. It didn't shape as much down lane. It was definitely more, kind of had that banana curve type feel, where the Vengeance, even though it was early, definitely shaped more down lane, but again, like still early enough to call big. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw the Brunswick Alert and see how it compares. Just wrapped up with the alert. This ball for me was definitely that ball down from the Vengeance. And this one for me is kind of that more classic type of benchmark shape, closer to like a GB5 or a Phase 2. You can see just how much further down the lane it wanted to go compared to the Vengeance. For me, I do like the shape of the Vengeance more than this, just because I feel like it allows me to stay a little straighter and allow it to hook earlier. However, I do like the shape of the alert. I just, again, like noticing that the alert's gonna be better on lower volume stuff, where that Vengeance is gonna be better on trying to get the ball to blend or higher volume stuff. Final thoughts on the 900 Global Vengeance. For me, this was a stronger symmetrical shape that definitely is gonna find its way in my bag. I really liked the way it shaped going down the lane, kind of gave me an Axiom type flashback in my brain. For me, again, like I felt like I could miss in both directions and the ball wanted to shape the right way down lane, and for that reason, I'm gonna have to give this ball a fire. This one for me is definitely one of those balls I'm gonna keep an eye out to possibly buy more in the future. I did feel like it rolled well, particularly for me, but I do feel like it's that ball where if you need a strong symmetrical to hook an oil, this is gonna be that go-to, kind of like the number 2 ball out of the bag, something that you can still trust even though it is that symmetrical piece in the bag. So fire for today.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.